All right, everybody. Good afternoon. If you are a Seahawks fan, you just witnessed one of the stupidest football games of all time, but it ended with a good result. The stupidity eventually tilted in the direction of the Seattle Seahawks, and ultimately that's what matters. So 26-21 Seahawks came down to the last couple of minutes, the last minute actually, and we're 7-5. That's what I know right now. We are 7-5. We continue to get it done on the road. We came back from a big early deficit that easily could have ended this game by halftime, and we didn't let it happen. We won the game in the fourth quarter, like Pete Carroll used to talk about. We do it with Mike McDonald now too. We win the game in the fourth quarter, and that's what I'm going to take away from this game ultimately. Video is powered by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. More on them a little bit later. But we got some stuff to get into, man, and there are so many different angles on this game. There are so many different perspectives that you need to approach this game from. So many different things, but the main takeaway that I want to have right now, because we did win this game. If we had lost this game, maybe not so much, but the main takeaway I want to have right now as a fan of the Seattle Seahawks is when the dust cleared, this defense continues to be really good. And I know they're playing a really bad offense today. The Jets, they're bad. They're one of the worst offenses in football. And they had some of their own self-inflicted injuries. But this defense, it looks like a championship defense. This may not be a championship team, but this is already a championship level defense. The Jets tried to establish the run, and we didn't let them do it with overwhelming success. Rodgers was relatively ineffective. And when it came down to it, after the nonsense of the first 20 minutes of this game was allowed to cool down a little bit, they were great. They were great. And so much of the stuff that happened in this game, in terms of the Jets scoring points, had very little, if anything, to do with the defense. So that's the number one thing. We do have issues on the offense, for sure. We do have issues, big issues with special teams, my God. It should not be possible to have a special teams unit that bad in the NFL. They cost us so many points and tried to cost us more. But sometimes you have to win the stupid games. And that was as pure of a stupid football game as you will find. But yeah, the bottom line here is that this defense was heroic today with the way that the special teams set them up to fail over and over and over again. They could have given up 40 points in this game, and I wouldn't have been really able to say much. The Jets had one good drive in this game in the first quarter where, okay, yeah, admittedly, that was kind of bad, and I was kind of critical of the defense at that point in the game, but after that one bad drive, the 80-yard touchdown drive, they were pretty much on point consistently. You'd have to find individual plays to pick out, right? You'd have to find little things here and there that you don't like. We're talking about 250 total yards of offense. The defense scores a 92-yard pick six. And we got to talk about Big Cat more as this video goes on, because he has been like Aaron Donald these last two games. He has turned into Aaron Donald. There's no other way to put it. And if you want to find little things to criticize, you can. The quarterback pressure was not good. We didn't get very much quarterback pressure outside of Big Cat. The 3rd and 26 was bad, and that will haunt us for a while. There were a couple other little moments here and there, but overall, man, this defense, I don't know how they fixed themselves that quickly and to that degree, but they did. But before we talk more about this game, I want to talk about my friends over at BetUS. You can get on over there right now, the best online sportsbook and casino you can find, and you still have plenty of time to bet on the death of the San Francisco 49ers, Sunday Night Football tonight. 49ers going to Buffalo to play the Bills, probably in deep snow. And if the Niners lose this game, you can probably start crossing them off. So go over, bet on it, bet US. You can use promo code YouTube150 to get a 150% deposit bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 and 125% deposit bonus on your next two deposits up to $2,000. Go get your free money. Bet on Niners Bills. Bet on other games too. Bet on other sports. You can do it all pretty much over on BetUS. Get on over there, check him out, and use promo code YouTube150. Okay, so yeah, I want to give, beyond just Leonard Williams, who is obviously the player of the game here, looking at this defense, I want to give a shout out to Kobe Bryant, who I thought played a pretty good game. Maybe not a superstar game like last week, but he played good. I want to give a shout out to Ernest Jones. I thought he played a good game. Julian Love made several great plays on the ball in this game. He was another guy that I really singled out positively. And they were the driving force behind this win. You look at this game, you've got, you do have a little bit of a deficiency in the pass rush, other than the 2 sacks. And by the way, Leonard Williams almost had a third, but he got hit with a face mask that, it was a face mask, but I don't think Leonard Williams did anything like really wrong. I think he just got unlucky. So I'm not even mad at him for that. Like, that was just bad luck more than anything. So I'm not even tripping on that. By the way, that's why the Jets scored their touchdown. That literally was a 7-point penalty. So you want to look at the one bad defensive drive in that game. Yeah, that's why that happened. You had Woolen, I thought, had a mixed game. I thought he was just all right overall. And yet, Rodgers relatively ineffective. We're talking about 170 net passing yards. Not really impactful on this game at all. He threw the ball, well, he dropped back to pass, 41 times in this game, and he netted 170 yards. That's winning football right there. That is big-time winning football. And if we can keep that up the rest of the way, this defense, it is a championship defense. Maybe the rest of the team isn't a championship level team, but that defense, they're stopping the run. They're effective against the run. They did not let the Jets take this game over with the run, and the Jets tried, man. The Jets tried to control this game on the ground, and we just didn't quite let them get to that point. I think that even though it wasn't a great day for the pressure, I love Kobe Bryant getting sent on the blitz there on that final 4th down to make sure Rodgers can't throw it when he wants to. He's just got to throw it early. Beautiful stuff. Love it. Little things like that are going to be things that I point out even in a game like this. Witherspoon drawing the offensive pass interference when that was a play that really could have completely changed the texture of this game. And instead, the Jets are going backwards on that play instead of forwards. And McDonald, I am going to be critical of him for some other things that happened in this game because he is the head coach, but he's got that defense absolutely cooking right now. And it is too bad that the offensive line is in the state that it's in, because if we had a real offensive line, I would say that this team is like a real contender to go into a late season surge that even results in like a Super Bowl trip. I can't do it with the state the offensive line's in, but there are parts of this team that are among the best. We have one of the best defenses in the league right now. The stats may not show it, but in terms of effectiveness, they ball. So big credit there. That's the big positive takeaway from this game, of course. Offense, there were moments in this game where we started to build a little bit of a rushing attack. You know, you had Ken Walker break off some good runs in this game. They got canceled out by the end of this game because of all the negative runs, and he ended up with like 3 yards a carry. And I know that's frustrating. I know that's not good enough, and I'm not good with it. But at the very least in this game, you had productive carries. We even had like a 28-yard carry to K9 that was called back on a penalty. I mean, it was a penalty, don't get me wrong, but regardless, you can start to see a little something going on the ground attack. So when it came to that stuff, look, our running backs are trying, and Charbonnet gets in for the game-winning touchdown. He's a guy who's been beat up lately. Really happy for him. I thought that Geno played a pretty good game. It wasn't great. He missed a couple of throws that we could have used. Ultimately, it was a pretty forgettable game, but he did some stuff out there that helped us secure this win, and he did lead us down for the game-winning drive, game-winning touchdown drive, and he, in a game where the special teams sold as hard as special teams can sell, the offense was able to do enough to get that 20 points on the board, right? Because the pick six, you take it away. We got 20 points on the board. So I can live with that against this Jets defense because the Jets defense is good. The Jets defense can do stuff. So I'm not sitting here saying like we didn't score 40 points and that's a disaster. No, I don't think that. Especially in a game where you get the ball down to the half-yard line and you don't score. JSN was good. Metcalf, I mean, Sauce had him strapped. Eventually, he made some plays. He also drew some flags in this game, which was great. In general, the Jets, I mean, this game, the reason why the Jets let this game get away, because this should have been a free win for the Jets. I think the thing you ultimately boil it down to is just the penalties. They had penalties that took away third down stops and fourth down stops, and they had so many penalties in this game that completely cost them every opportunity that they had to put this game away. When you get that much from your special teams, you should win the game. And the Jets had so many penalties, you'd swear they were trying to lose. And maybe they were. I don't know. But maybe the Jets were just like, look, we're trying to get that pick. We need Cam Ward. We need Shadur Sanders. We need something. So maybe that was it. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you're looking at JSN and DK and you're saying they played pretty well. Again, the flags that DK drew are significant and need to be factored in here. So, hanging my hat on those two guys and their performance today and going forward. The pass protection looked okay for most of this game. I will say that. But we had to go to max protect, which is really sad because this Jets team usually just rushes 4. Over and over and over again, the Jets would rush 4. And honestly, the times they blitzed us, we did an okay job beating it. We actually did an okay job against the blitz, but we would max protect. The Jets would rush 4. We would protect pretty good, but nobody would get open. There were a lot of plays in this game where Geno had time, but he couldn't find anything, and they're showing the view of they're showing the camera behind Geno looking downfield, and over again, I'm just like, nobody's open. Or people are open, but it's going to be like a 3-yard gain on 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 15. And it's like, okay, you could throw that, I guess, but is that really going to help? Probably not. So the things that this Seahawks team has to do right now to have good pass protection are really, really sad. That's kind of my main takeaway from things right now. In order to get good pass protection, the Seahawks have to max protect against 4 rushers. That is definitely discouraging, but it's not surprising. The Jets' pass rush is good. Quinnen Williams, Will McDonald, those guys are dangerous. Michael Clemens is a good player too. So I'm not completely absolving the Jets of really good play up front. They have great players up there, but it sucks to watch. And then you're watching 3 receivers try to get open against 7 defensive backs. Not going to happen. So, to me, that was the main thing that happened in this game that stymied the offense. Geno drops back to pass. He's got a little bit of time on some plays, and nothing's open because of the way this team has to play. Max protect over and over. Now, I do want to say this. After today, I think I'm done with Ryan Grubb. And there was some stuff in this game that was pretty good, but I have kind of taken the position this year that I think Ryan Grubb is bad, or at the very least, Ryan Grubb is mediocre at best, but I'm going to blame the offensive line. I'm having a really hard time doing that right now, and don't get me wrong, some of that stuff still applies, but that sequence on the 1-yard line where we had like 7 plays and could not punch it in was so bad that That sequence single-handedly has me kind of done with Ryan Grubb. I just got to be real. Obviously, we can't run the ball in that situation reliably, and that's a player problem. But we tried to run the Super Bowl 49 play from the 1-yard line. Like, you're just trying to make us mad at this point, right, Grubb? We got it at the half-yard line. It's 3rd and goal from the half-yard line. And we go incomplete pass, I think. Or incomplete pass, sack. And on the sack, Geno's in shotgun. He rolls out, so only half the field is available to him. And then he immediately just gets blitzed to the point where he gets sacked for a 19-yard loss. Why is Geno in shotgun on 4th and goal from not the 1-yard line, the half-yard line? QB sneak it. And if you don't get it, the Jets get the ball at the half-yard line. What are they going to do? Nothing. Their offense is terrible. Let them get the ball at the half-yard line. That's cool. QB sneak it. I don't care if you don't get it. You're probably going to get it, but if you don't get it, and I acknowledge QB sneaks are hard when the offensive line interior is this soft, but why are you in shotgun? Why do you have Geno rolling out so he can only use half the field? And nobody got open. These running plays are so telegraphed. Like, we're pitching the ball to Ken Walker, and Quincy Williams is running in there like a missile because he knew where the play was going before we snapped the ball. Over and over and over again, it's just like, you got to find some way to deceive people. We're not deceiving people on a majority of these plays. They know what we're doing before we do it. So I'm kind of done with Ryan Grubb. And obviously, I mean, we got to talk about the special teams for a second. Harbaugh, you're done, dude. Harbaugh, we can't fire him right now because we got 5 games left, but Harbaugh, you got to be out of here after this game. Special teams could have been good all season, and I'd still, after that game, say I don't think Harbaugh needs to be around here anymore. But Jay Harbaugh, after that game, you're fired, dude. Like, as soon as this season ends, he needs to be out of here, and we need to be looking for something else. You can't have a game that bad and survive. Especially when the other games have been somewhat shaky, too. Thank God for Jason Myers, who actually, I mean, hey, Myers had a really good game. He did his job. Dixon did his job, and by the way, he got hurt in this game, so I don't know what's going on there, but dancing through the raindrops. We couldn't even punt in the 4th quarter of this game, and we just got it done on 4th down over and over and over again. The Jets helping us with all those penalties. Man, you can't be that bad on special teams. And you know what? That even goes back a little bit to McDonald. And that's the one thing I'll say. Like, you're the head coach, man. You got to get on the bullhorn and be like, dudes, stop trying to return these kickoffs. Stop trying to return kickoffs. You've lost your privileges today. Would have loved to have seen a little bit of that, maybe. But we got the win. We escaped. We had to go through absolute agony to get there. This was a game we probably should have won by 3 scores. So much of the damage was done by special teams. And I hope I never see a game that bad from any special teams unit ever again. I hope that next season we have a new special teams coordinator because he's been shaky as is. And now we had a game like this. That game should single-handedly get you fired. And like I said, Grubb, he's losing me. He's got 5 games left. We're not firing him today. Not firing him this season. But you're losing me for next year, buddy. Just putting that out there. That sequence at the goal line could have easily cost us the game, and I'm not seeing any wisdom there. Like, I understand you don't want to run the ball up the gut, because you can't, because your interior offensive line is terrible. I totally respect that, but you can QB sneak it then. And again, if you don't get it, it's fine. You know what's not fine is giving up a 19-yard sack so the Jets get the ball at the 20. You know what's not fine is running a play where you're only using half the field when the field is already compressed because you're at the half-yard line. Sorry, I need something better. I need something better in that situation. We are lucky we had another couple good drives in that game. Because I went into this game knowing the Jets defense was good enough to keep us from scoring more than a few times. We were only going to have a few good drives in that game because the Jets defense is good. We were lucky we had a couple more. Because that could have easily been our last good drive of the game. And it wasn't. Thank the Lord. But, hey, life's good, man. Life is good. 26-21, 7-5. Cardinals lost. Rams are down 3-0. Niners play tonight, like I said. Thank you to BetUS for powering this video. See you guys later. I might stream tonight. I'm not sure. We'll see. But go Hawks.